Okay, good morning. Well, I'm going to explain a couple of things. Thing number one is, got some questions as to why do I speed things up in the beginning of the videos now where I never used to, or why am I speeding up sections we just love to watch. If I did not speed these up, the video would be unwatchable. It would be hours long. I have sped up I usually speed them up about 800% so that you get the gist of what I'm doing in high speed. Yes, yesterday was a bit of a cluster bum. I'm not going to use the F-bomb today, but it was a bit of a clusterfuck. Cluster bum. And it just kind of, I had to re-upload it. My lovely son Tim had pulled his pants down, unbeknownst to me, because when you fast forward stuff, you'll see his ass, and he was just being a jerk, so I had to remove that. It was age restricted. I didn't get a strike, thank God. I don't like getting strikes because that just severely affects the channel. I have not gotten my silver play button, and I can attribute it to the left-wing liberal jackasses that run the site that this is on, and it kind of pisses me off, but whatever. You know what? I didn't start this channel to receive a silver play button. It would have been nice if I'd have got the silver play button, but guess what? I do not believe that I'm going to be getting it. I'm closing in on 110,000 subscribers. It was well over a month ago that I'd reached actually 2 months ago that I reached the 100,000 subscriber mark, which, it's getting to the point where it's ridiculous. I've sent countless emails just asking for a response as to what's going on. Ag Talk and Raw actually did get monetized after 7 months. 7 months to get monetized. Crazy amount of time. It's bullshit, but whatever. Such is life. So if you're into listening to me rant about things that are happening on the farm or off the farm or in agriculture, to say the least, that's the channel for you. Ag Talk and Raw. I will talk about my experiences, and there will be stories and things on that channel. So I'm probably going to put a link to that down in the description below, just because Ag Talk and Raw does need some more viewers and more subscribers to just keep pushing forward. I do videos on there twice a day. So anyways, as far as this is concerned, at the back of this pump, you can see it. There's this long rectangular section, and you see a suction pipe that I had put on there. Those are the pumps that were causing me the problems. That is why I could not get this pump in the machine for it to work properly. That is the float control pumps for the right and left hand side of the rotary header, rotary cutting header, the disc bind header. So that was what all the problem was. I would have had it in the day before and had it functioning then, but you know what? Such is life. I was foolish enough to allow them to take the pump in the morning before my new pump got here, and then it cost me half a day yesterday running all the way to Lidditz, Pennsylvania. It's 2 hours. Actually took me almost 3 hours each way. So it was like 6 hours because of traffic. Friday, traffic going into Lancaster. There was more New Yorkers in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania than ever. Actually, more than New Yorkers in Lancaster County than there are in New York. But anyways, enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks for being here. Okay. All right, so you missed the grand event of us. Me and Grant actually muscled that into place. What we did, and for some reason I forgot to set up the camera. I used this. We took a chain. Here's the chain. And we put it over the top here. I put it over the top and then basically made a chain hoist out of it. And raised it up to within a couple of inches of itself, the hole that it belonged in, because I couldn't get it up tall enough, high enough. And then I got underneath and pressed it up into place. And that little bastard's heavy. I think it's at least 150 pounds. At least 150 pounds. Oh. There is an O-ring that goes in here. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple design, I guess. The O-ring was coated then with RTV cement. Here, this is what I used. It's meant for oil and stuff. I don't know, this is in Spanish. It's pretty fucking ridiculous when you Formula de Baja Valle d'Italia, or whatever the fuck that says.
Some gibberish.
I did a good. You need a what?
Some gibberish.
Some gibberish. Well, it's all right if I was there, but I'm not there. So anyway, that being said, I just don't care. I guess I just don't care. Anyway, so I put a film around that. Actually, I put a good bead around that, didn't I?
Yeah.
So you got to put a bead around it so that it seals everything, because you don't want these things to leak. A, they suck if you have to reseal them. B, they suck if you have to reseal them. And C, they really suck if you have to take all this off of here to reseal it. So I think I've made myself pretty clear that it sucks if you got to reseal it, right? Alright, so alright, that worked out pretty good actually. What do you got? You close? So we got all sorts of these little things that have to go in there, especially the swash plates. So what this transmission actually is the hydrostatic drive pumps to the hydrostatic drive motors that are on the wheel. And as you saw in the last video, it was a broken shaft. This is actually the pump that they overnighted me because it's new. I got to the place where I purchased it, and no, it was not Messick's. It was a Case dealer. I got to that place, and they were supposed to have the replacement pump for me, the one that's actually supposed to go on here, and it was a remanufactured one. But it did have different serial numbers, which is kind of weird. At least I thought it was kind of weird. Who knows? And so we just took the pump off, right? And put the pump on the remanufactured one, and I expected it to be about $1,000 cheaper, right? Hell no! It was $1,300 and change more for a remanufactured one. Go figure that, right? So I went back, I said, I'm not paying $1,300 more for something that is essentially used with one or two brand new parts in it. I'm not doing that. So they kind of agreed with me, kind of, after a little persuasion. And I said, well, I want the new pump. You can take the pump off the back of this one. That is the old pump. Give me my old pumps that there's nothing wrong with, and I'll pay for the brand new one for $1,300 and change less. But then they're just going, oh, fuck you, you little bastard. I can't believe that just did that. There. That fell off. So, yeah.
That thing's tight.
Huh?
Tight.
Put it, give me, we're going to use the boxed end, and I'm going to double check your work
I was
there.
using the box.
That's tight. There's kid tight, and then there's me tight. And you don't want to shear it off, but I'm sure there's some people out there that are cringing that I'm using starting fluid to clean these, but we're gonna label this as too fucking bad. Oh, and I love it when people are like, "Oh, use brake cleaner." Brake cleaner does not cut oil, and it is really harsh on your skin, whereas ether is not. No, you're not. You're going to hold off on that. Let me get this up here figured out, and we'll let you do those. Because they have to be cleaned off with a rag and then rinsed off. So they are self-explanatory. They go right.
I figured out how it
Yeah, they all go just... But we can't put them on until I get the swash plates hooked up.
Alright.
So let me do that. Holy hell. go flying over here. Well, if it's anywhere, it would be right here, but look and see if it got set somewhere else. You missed the startup, right? Alright, so I've got everything put together. Oil's in, all fresh and new. I've tightened these. I see nothing leaking. I need to tighten up that right there. I need 2 9/16" wrenches. Grab them. Everything seems to be okay, like where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to tighten that up and I'll get back to it. Oh, shit. Steering not neutral. Uh-oh. Something's not right. Okay, we got an issue. Alright, so the steering's not neutral. Action! Okay, so I think we figured it out, right, Joe?
Yes.
Right, Grant? Yep. Yeah. Right, Tim? Tim's not here. Right here is the sensor, and I guess this shaft is possibly a little bit longer, which changed the distance between the sensor and the swash plate gizmo here, that little ear. So it was telling me it was out of center and was trying to fight it. And so what I did was I loosened it up. Slid it out one complete turn, and here, put that away. One complete turn, Grant fired it up, the damn thing's working. So me and Joseph are going to take it for a quick ride across the field and back, and then we got other things we have to do. So get that shit and get out of here. What's the matter here? AC is working. Alright, so we got that part. Oh boy, she's a touchy mother scratcher. Ready? Hopefully everything works right. Could be a high-speed kit, you know. I didn't even think of that. You know, the newer machines go like 25 miles an hour. Yeah. This one isn't really good for that. Seems to be okay. We're actually in motion, so how fast are you on? Speed 12.2. That'll lay it out. This hay is pretty miserable. I don't understand why. It acts as though someone forgot to put fertilizer on it. I'm not used to this mower by any means. I just can't believe how shitty a job, how much that little hay is in. Pretty pathetic. It's different than the John Deere. I guess we're back in business now. God, this thing's rough. The old man's been in here. Oh yeah. I think the John Deere's a lot more controllable than this one.
Except in reverse.
Huh?
Except in reverse.
No, this one's worse than that. Okay, so, alright, I'm going to do the ending of this, well, I guess the overview of what I've done to this mower and what exactly has happened while Timothy is running his little car annoying the hell out of everybody. Hey, I think Grammy might be sleeping, so do it out there. So, yeah, it is in the evening, and my grandmother goes to bed early, so she's 93, she's allowed. Anyway, I'm going to open this door up here and show you exactly what has happened. This is actually the pump that came... This is actually the pump that came overnight yesterday. The problem with this pump that came overnight yesterday was that they had you have the two drive pumps, this one and this one. This is a Sauer Danfoss pump. It is not a Sunstrand. Sauer Danfoss, and this one are the right and left pumps for the drives, the final drives on the wheels. So that's that. But at the end, they stack two pumps on the back of that for the header float control, right and left, right and left. The pump that came for me, that came overnight, didn't have the stacked pumps. It only had a single pump, so it wasn't right. So what I ended up doing was getting up this morning, going out to Binkley and Hurst. Those are the guys that ordered me the parts for it, and that's actually my original pump. This pump, the pumps, they claim the pumps are not shipped with that pump ever. So so here I am, I've got this pump. Great, I got a pump. So I put that on there, I got it in, started it up. There is a few adjustments that you have to make to it if you're not quite where you need to be with the linkages. Alright, so I'm going to get under here. My knee is really sore from getting under here. But anyhow, you see that blue thing right there? That is the position sensor. And that sensor tells you when you are dead center. And if that thing is not where it belongs when the tractor is started, it will throw you a code that says steering wheel sensor, or steering wheel not in center position. So it took me about half an hour to figure out that's what was going on. And what I ended up doing was actually loosening up the sensor, pulling it away a little bit until I actually did it twice. I loosened it, turned it a full turn, then I had to loosen it and turned it another half a turn, and I think I need to turn it one more quarter of a turn so that it's good. So you start it up and then you can actually unlock it and go mow, but if you lock the wheels again or get out of the seat and then go to unlock it again, you got to turn the steering wheel just a slight little bit to the left to get it to unlock so that it knows that the steering wheel is in the center position. So that has to be worked on. No big deal. Tomorrow morning when everything cools off, by tomorrow morning everything will be cooled off and that will be good to go. I did change the oil in the planetary drive. As you can see, it's nice and clean gear oil. So that's where that belongs. So right where it needs to be, obviously. Ooh. Let's see. I'm trying to get that. There it goes. So that's where it belongs. I got the oil where it belongs. That's all new. Hydraulic oil is at its proper level. It takes like 15 gallons. I use John Deere oil in there because John Deere oil seems to run quieter than any other. Of course, it's going to be contaminated from what was in the lines for the header and stuff, but for the most part, I put about 15 gallons of John Deere High Guard transmission oil in there. Did you just seize that motor?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just forgot to tighten up my shock absorbers.
Oh. Did it break?
No.
Okay. Okay, so anyways, now this mower should be good to go now for the rest of the summer. Please, Lord, let it be complete for the rest of the summer. I'd be happy if that would happen. But anyway, yeah, so it's back in the field. Grant actually ran it, and he mowed with it. And the field is mowed that we finished up. Me and Joe were doing the test run in it, but Grant finished it up, so it's all good. We're back together. So, anyways, now on to making hay. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe for more. Right, Tim?
Yeah.
No more ass crack?
No.